No, I can confirm to you that this year's edition of the Paris Air Show is not taking place in India, but still Paris. But I don't blame you if you think it is the case, because the reality is that Indian customers have absolutely stolen the show this year, and that continued towards the end of day 2 as Air India confirmed a mammoth order for new aircraft. Again, I want to start by saying this is not the first time we've heard of this. It is rather a finalization of a commitment, which means they will officially acquire the jets. Beginning with Boeing, confirming their intent to order up to 290 planes as part of a historic deal moving forward for the company. Such a commitment does include both single-aisle and wide-body planes, and is part of the deal announced in February, geared towards sustainability, and with the hopes to turn around the overall Air India business. Boeing's contract with Air India thus includes 190 of the 737 MAXs, 20 787 Dreamliners, and lastly we have 10 777Xs. It means that the 777X finally gets a new commitment after what has been a relatively long drought. Additionally, there are further options for 50 of the MAXs in place and 20 787 Dreamliners should they wish to act on these later. Currently, Air India only flies the 787 out of the list mentioned. However, it is familiar with the broader 777 series, just not the upcoming 777X, which remains uncertified. The partnership between the two has been long-standing, and a commitment for up to 290 aircraft is substantial. Air India is now under new ownership, so the Tata Group is attempting to turn around the company, which has experienced what can only be said as a very turbulent recent history. India's aviation scene promises so much, and has seen considerable increases in companies joining the fray in the past decade or so. As such, it's more complex than ever for well-known carriers to retain a market share. Air India believes the key to long-term sustainability and success is revolutionizing the fleet and image thanks to these new planes. A deal for Boeing was placed in conjunction with Airbus in February and has only recently been beaten in terms of overall size by Indigo, who on the first day of this year's Paris Air Show ordered 500 A320 Neo family jets. At the beginning of this video, I mentioned that the air show has been about the Indian aviation scene, and well, it's looking to continue with more rumoured deals to be completed. Moving across to Airbus, but staying with Air India, a couple of minutes after that firming up for the Boeing jets, they did the same with Airbus, and to refresh your memory, it was up to 250 planes. Again, part of that deal announced in February, as Air India looks to transform the carrier. As the Tata Group, the new owners of Air India, look to transform that carrier. And some would definitely argue that the spark out of Air India has been missing for some time. Air India has a total of 140 A320 Neo aircraft now a part of this deal, 70 A321neos, 34 A350-1000s, and lastly 6 of the A350-900s. It means it'll have a spread between narrow-body and wide-body planes from the European plane maker to take it to the next era of travel. Comments from Campbell Wilson, who is the CEO of Air India, said our ambitious fleet renewal and expansion program will see Air India operate the most advanced and fuel-efficient aircraft across our route network within 5 years. We are proud to be working with all our global partners, including Airbus, in this journey to rebuild a global airline, which reflects India taking a more confident posture around the world. Again, these commitments are huge for both respective manufacturer, but I think the underlying point to be taken from all of this is the goal to rebuild it as a global airline, where many firmly believe Air India belongs, but where it has definitely been short of for some time. Air India further added that they're excited to partner with Airbus for such a commitment, and believe that under the new leadership they will truly be able to focus on achieving some of those more ambitious projects in the future with the right minds behind the airline. What are your thoughts on the huge deal for almost, but not quite, 500 planes from Airbus and Boeing? Let me know down below in the comments. Thanks a lot for your support, and I'll see you next time. Stay tuned, there's going to be much more coverage on the Paris Air Show in the coming hours and days as well. And we'll fly.